So, when do narcissists show their true colors? When do they show you who they really are? When do they take that mask off and expose themselves for who they really are? That's what we're talking about today, y'all. If you're new here, my name is Lee Hammock. I'm a diagnosed narcissist here to give you an inside look at the mind of a narcissist. And welcome to another episode of the Narcissist Code. What's going on, y'all? Yes, the inside look at the mind of a narcissist. When do they take that mask off? When do narcissists show you their true colors? That's the question that I absolutely get a lot of nowadays, y'all. Before we hop too deep into today's episode, y'all, if you don't know, this Saturday, April 12th, we'll be in Durham, North Carolina for our next in-person workshop. In-person workshop, you can find more information at mentalhealness.net/events. It's right here. Or you can go directly to my website at mentalhealness.net and check everything out there. Mentalhealness.net, scroll to the bottom, and we will see you in Durham, North Carolina this Saturday. But y'all, narcissistic people, I think we all can understand and we all can agree that most narcissists are not going to show you who they are at the very beginning. They're not going to pop up on you and expose themselves to you for who they really are at the beginning of the relationship dynamic. Because ask yourself this question right here. If a narcissist struggles with caring about themselves, I'm not saying that narcissists don't love themselves, right? I'm just saying if a narcissist is struggling to care about themselves, is struggling to, expose themselves or whatever the case may be, what makes you think they're going to they're going to be themselves with you? If I personally don't think that I'm enough for myself, I definitely am not going to think that I'm enough for you. That just doesn't make logical sense to me, right? It just doesn't make, it just doesn't make sense to me at all. So I'm going to pretend to be somebody else. So when I first meet you, I'm going to put my best foot forward. Y'all know me, y'all been following me for a long time. Y'all know narcissistic people put their best foot forward, but it's not a real foot. It's a peg leg. And you can't tell until later on when they pull their pants leg up and it's a peg instead of a foot. You're like, wait, what? You're a pirate? And that type of stuff right there. But as you're dealing with this type of person, as you understand the inner workings of their mind, you understand like they're not going to be themselves at first. They are just not going to be themselves at first. That's one thing you got to just reconcile with. You got to take that on the head, as people will say, because that's the way it's going to go. So narcissistic people at the beginning of the relationship dynamic are always going to pretend to be somebody else. They're not going to fully be themselves. They're going to be the best version of what they think that you want. So Lee, get to the point. Like, damn, like when are they going to take the mask off? I got to explain the mask first. I got to explain it first because you want to know how I got these scars. No, but seriously, that's the way it goes. Like when you're dealing with narcissistic people, like when they finally reveal themselves, there are gonna be a few different ways that they reveal themselves, right? The first way they reveal themselves for their true character is if when they notice your flaws. When they notice that you have flaws, right? Well, Lee, well, that flaws? Wait, what? You know what I mean? What do you mean flaws? We are all flawed people. Yes. But when I say flaws to you, I don't mean that there's something wrong with you. It's just that at the beginning of a relationship with a narcissist, they look at you as perfection. Like you are perfect to them. You're perfect for them. They see you as perfection. So when I say flaws, they don't see you as perfect anymore. Right. And that's what I mean. They no longer see you as a perfect person anymore. So when they do that type of stuff right there, when they no longer see you as a when they see you as a flawed person, they take the love away and they reveal their true character. They just when I say flaws, a flaw could be something as simple as you saying the word no. Like literally, you opening your mouth and saying the word no could be viewed as a flaw to a narcissistic person. You setting a boundary could be a flaw. So again, flaws are not necessarily bad things. It just depends on the narcissistic person you're dealing with, right? Am I right? Am I right? The next way that a narcissist will take their mask off is once they feel like they've got you committed to them, like commitment, like a long-term commitment, not a short-term commitment, not like tomorrow we're gonna clap cheeks. They don't take their mask off for one cheek clapping session, right? I know y'all would love them for to take the mask off after y'all clap cheeks the first time so you can get in and get out, right? But no, sometimes they will, but most times it's like a longer commitment is necessary for them to reveal their true character, for them to reveal who they really are. So that's an absolute necessity. So it's just like the flaws and then the commitment. So what I mean by commitment is this right here, y'all. A baby, you get pregnant by them, or they get pregnant by you. They take the mask off, right? Because women can be narcissists as well. It just get into these spaces like baby gets involved. So that's a commitment right there. That's a long-term commitment. Mask off, right? Like mask on, mask off, right? And then the next way that you can get narcissistic people like this, within a commitment thing, is like living together, signing a lease, buying a house together, co-signing on a car together. Which so many people, y'all gotta stop co-signing on people y'all just met. Like, come on, y'all, damn it. How about maybe, bro? Should I do this? I haven't went on a rant bubble in a couple of months, I feel like, but now I gotta go on a rant. I gotta go on a rant, y'all. Y'all have got to stop beating people, first of all. In I mean, I know we talk. Of course, you shouldn't have babies with people you don't know, but the cosign of a car of a person you just met, come on now, damn. And then they run off on you. They don't pay the bills anymore. And they ruin your damn credit. Come on now. We got to start using our critical thinking skills. We have to, especially in today's age. Critical thinking is just such a like you get punished for having critical thinking skills in damn near in America this year. Like you have critical thinking skills, you believe in the truth, and it's crazy as hell. But use your critical thinking skills, y'all. Please, for the love of everything holy, use those critical thinking skills. Um, because you got to stop that. Ran over. Okay. But yeah, the commitments. They want you to make those commitments to them, right? So they take the mask off. Once they feel like you committed to them in a long-term commitment, house, cars, kids, whatever it is, y'all work together, y'all got a job together, y'all in the army together, y'all have contracts together, whatever it is in this situation, right? Um, this is a big piece of it. This ends up being a part of it. So when they see what I said, some type of commitment, they'll take their shirts off. They'll take their mask off in those instances right here. Another way when they reveal their true colors is when they get angry. Y'all, anger, anger brings out the rage. Anger really, or conflict really shows you who they really are, because how they handle anger is them taking their mask off. They can't handle pushback. They can't handle boundaries. So how they handle their anger, like they can make them take their mask off. But they get angry. You know, if you want to see somebody for who they really are, get them mad. Get them mad. They'll take the mask off. Then they'll yell and scream at you. Like, I don't know what just happened. You see what I'm saying? That type of stuff happens too. So that becomes a piece of it. So that's what part of what you have to understand too, is that narcissistic people get them angry, they'll take the mask off. Anger works, y'all. Okay, of course, use discretion if you're going to get somebody angry on purpose, especially. But even if you don't get them angry on purpose, when they get angry, that's them taking their mask off, because a lot of times they can't control their anger. Narcissistic people tend to be very emotionally dysregulated people, and they can't control their anger. So that becomes a big piece of it right there, where you have to understand that the way you're going forward. So the way they handle their anger, when they take that mask off, that anger is real. That's truthful. That's true. That's righteous. That's not righteous anger, but they can't handle it. So get them mad, and they will show you their true character. They will take the mask off. They will show you their true colors, right? They absolutely will. That's one of the things that can happen right there. You get them mad, they will show you who they really are. Apply some type of pressure, they will show you who they really are. Like, really, seriously, get them mad. Another way, y'all, it can kind of go into the anger. It can kind of go into the anger section right here. So this is going to be a different way. Reject them. Make them feel rejected. Damn, y'all, please reject them. Say no. Use the word no. Set a boundaries. You set a boundary, say how they handle the boundary. They'll take the mask off, right? When they feel rejected, they'll take the mask off. They will. And once the mask comes off, they will struggle to try to put it back on, right? They never can put it back on fully, right? So it's like once the mask comes off, once they reveal their true colors to you, they can never put it back on. So that's why you have to protect yourself in these spaces right here, because it can be very understandable that you are feeling a certain type of way. So set a boundary. Use the word no. Make them feel rejected. That's how you can get them to take their mask off and show their true colors. That really is. They can be the most efficient way is to make them get angry, to take their damn mask off, and then they get mad as hell. And then you see who they are. Reject them. You know what I mean? Yeah, no, I don't like these videos going on too long. I'm about to start my extended podcast as well. So y'all about to see longer videos on this channel. Anyway, the Mental Healness podcast is launching next week. We'll start doing interviews next week. I'm gonna start putting a link in the description to every video and whatnot for the podcast. It's coming soon though, y'all. Mental Healness podcast. Yay. But also, y'all, I will say this too. This is another thing right here. This is the last one I'm gonna close out with. When they take their mask off, for real, is when they have somebody new. If they have a new supply, while they're still getting to know you, even while they're still you can still be in a love bombing stage with this person, and they can still go out here and try to find a new supply. When they find a new supply, you will see them for who they really are a lot of times. Their behaviors will shift and you'll start to not recognize this person anymore. You'll be like, who the hell are you? And you'll be like, I don't remember meeting this version of you. And that could damn near get on your damn nerves. That could really put fear into your heart. That could really make you feel like you're getting destroyed or whatever. So that's one of the things that happens when you meet them, when you see them for who they really are in these spaces right here. That's going to suck for them, right? So once they find a new supply, they can feel like they can take their mask off and be who they want to be with you. This is why so many times when you leave these toxic relationship dynamics, this is why so many times when you get out of it, you don't recognize the person that they were. You know, you no longer recognize who they are. You be like, who the hell are you? You didn't used to be this way, but now you are. So what can I do in this situation to help protect me? What can I do in this situation to help save me? How can I handle this? How can I do this? How can I do that? So you have to be prepared for that as well, y'all. Because once they have a new supply, they will show you their true colors. And then when they show you their true colors, y'all, it's up to you to just protect yourself in these spaces. Y'all, once they show you their true colors, you absolutely have to protect yourself because they cannot put the mask back on. Once the mask comes off, they cannot put it back on in the same way. I promise you. Anyways, y'all, let me wrap this thing up. Again, y'all, we'll be in Durham, North Carolina this weekend. You can find everything about that at mentalhealness.net right here across the bottom of the screen. But I also say this, I just released my next course. It's called Finding Your Why, How to Heal from Narcissistic Abuse. Literally, it's called Finding Your Why. You can find that and my coaching, everything at mentalhealness.net. If you want to take a look at my course, Finding Your Why, enter the code WHY, WHY, 25 for $25 off because you made it this far, y'all. And also, it's not an expensive course for 40 longer videos, 25,000 words. I put my heart into that course, and it will help you heal, I guarantee it. Anyways, y'all, be safe, take care of yourself, and as always, y'all, as always, mental healness is out. Peace. Thank you so much for making it to the end of my video. I am extremely grateful for you. Have no idea. If you haven't already, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Helps reach more people. And click on the screen to watch another video or to browse through another playlist. There's also a link on the screen to check out my courses and my support groups to help you heal and understand what you've been through. Thank you so much again. I will see you in the next video. Peace.